Hey guys, I saw this Asha video on YouTube and I said let me still share it and support her. So this is the video. I hope that you all going to enjoy it. Subscribe to our channel, but subscribe to mine too.
I saw this thing on Dele Momodu's page on X, formerly known as Twitter, and his X handle is at Dele Momodu. And then he had something, he showed a picture, which was a screenshot of a tweet that was done by someone called Bolutife, at Bolutife on X. And then I will read this to you, and then I will go on to the write-up that Dele Momodu had done. And this particular person called Bolutife said, a classic January 15, 1966 happened yesterday, but many didn't notice. Northerners lost the most political and military officers, followed by the West, while the East lost none. Igbos instigated and led that coup, but protected their own. Igbos championed this protest, but refused to participate in it. You see, this is the lies from the pit of heavens that are always being used to cause mayhem in Nigeria. The 1962 coup, up to today, that's what, people are still using. How many Igbos were there? Was it led by Igbos? But these lies are continuously being told, all the time. And of course, they want to bring in another genocide. You could see there's a systematic attack, hatred, and whatever on the Igbos. Who are the Igbos that are the ones that plan this particular protest? Hunger is the one that is planning this protest. Bad governance is the one that is planning this protest. Suffering is the one that is planning this protest. People are suffering. People are tired. People have seen that there is someone who rigged his way into office and has refused to do anything other than just focus on his family and taking care of his family and just, looking for that conduit pipe that he could use. But let me stop here. Let me first of all go to what the write-up that Mr. Dele Momodu did. He said, this unfortunate conspiracy theory was forwarded to me this morning by a Tinubu apologist. Here's my response, and this is Dele Momodu's response. So the person that forwarded this to him, it is all a cheap blackmail. The people are hungry while government is living large. The Igbos are largely traders. They look after their own globally. Nobody instigated anyone or anything. You guys should accept the reality that Tinubu has not done very well. Leave the Igbos out of your excuses. To ethnicize the protest is to be disingenuous. And I would say absolutely. I totally and absolutely agree with every word that Mr. Dele Momodu has written. I know I did a lot of videos prior to the election. And then there were a lot of people that were saying that the Igbos will suffer. I remember doing a video. I said, look, if there's any tribe in Nigeria that is wired not to suffer from the shenanigans of a Nigerian government, whether it is led by a legitimate or an illegitimate president, are the Igbos. Why? Because they've been through civil war. They've faced the most heinous thing that you can face from the Nigerian government. They've been deprived of their properties and given mere, is it 20 pounds? Yet, they were able to come together. I think that's why they have that Ozomena. Never again. They were able to come together and help each other. And that's why they have also the Igbo apprenticeship system, where one person helps other people, and they've grown out of that. A lot of people kept mocking that the Igbos are going to suffer, that they will not win election, that they won't get the election. But today, who are the people who are suffering? And then you're looking for ways to give a dog a bad name and then be able, to do whatever it is that you want to do to it. That's not the way it works. Face your failure. Face if this person, this Tinubu apologist, and this person that is writing this write-up from the name, I'm going to make an assumption. Now, please forgive me for that assumption. It might be a different person, but from the name, that's a Yoruba person. Tinubu is a Yoruba person. Face the failure of Tinubu and take on the rigging of Tinubu. And you also accept the failure of what is happening because you allowed the rigging. This has nothing to do with tribe. So if you want to bring it tribe and say you are not blaming Igbos, blame yourself. Tinubu is Yoruba. Tinubu is not Igbo. Tinubu is the one failing. Blame the Tinubu that is failing and leave other tribe alone. Leave the rest of your tribe alone. Tinubu is failing because Tinubu is a failure, not because Yorubas are failures. We had an Obasanjo who was president and never brought this ethnicity thing and never allowed it. He was for Nigeria. He got in, of course. Why am I even comparing Obasanjo to Tinubu? Obasanjo was voted for. Tinubu rigged the election. That's a big difference. And so focus on that failure and stop looking at who you're going to blame. And then they started with Igbo must go and all of that. They did not protest, and all these years that they've been protesting, all these years they've been killing them. Where were you? Through Buhari's this thing, the southeast was turned into a field. That's where soldiers do their training. If it's not Cobra, this is this thing. Every day different names, and they've not. A good number of them say, yeah, they're not going to protest, and they will not protest. You go out and protest. You go out and protest. Why don't you go out and protest? Do your protest. You sit down and say that, oh, the Igbos are the ones who planned it. When did the Igbos plan this protest? When did this protest have any religious or tribal identity? There was nothing like that. What led to this protest is the failure of Tinubu, is the disrespect from Tinubu, is the fact that they have refused to even acknowledge the suffering of the people, is the gluttonous nature of Tinubu, eating and eating and eating and eating and eating again. He wants to suck away the blood, the marrow, the life, everything, the air from citizens. That's what led to this. And if you want to blame anybody, go and blame Tinubu. Leave the Igbos out of this. Face your front. And like I said before, during that election, before the election, what did I say? I said they have the capacity, no matter how bad the government is, the federal government. Why? Because they've not really depended on the federal government before. They've been marginalized for too long a time. They've had to depend on themselves. A lot of the things that you find in their places, they gathered money together and did it for themselves. So whether government is it's you that have always depended on government, that you are feeling when government doesn't work, it affects you so much. It doesn't do anything to them. Because after all, the government no kukuma dey their life. So they are going on with their own thing. And if that makes you angry, go and learn. Learn to do business. Learn to be prudent. Learn to save. Learn to help your fellow brother. Don't be fighting with don't turn it to war, your fellow brother. Because if it's only you that's standing, most of you people want to do local champion. You want to be the only one that is rich in your family. You want to be the only one that is rich in your community. You want to be the only one that is rich in your state. And then others are doing communal champions. Others are communal champions. They carry other people along. They will carry their brother's son, their sister's son, their neighbor's daughter, their neighbor's son, everybody, and then teach them the trade and carry on. So if you are looking for who to blame, blame the illegitimate president.